And we'll start the session then. I think we are live. Lalita, we are good to go whenever you can tell us.
Yes, Ojsvi and all the counselors, we are almost good to go. Yes, we are good to go. I'm so sorry. There was a technical issue. I think no matter how much you prepare, there is tech kind of betrays you at the last minute. But thank you so much for joining us. And thank you to all the counselors, students, parents, and teachers who have joined us. Apologies that we had to wait this long, but thank you for staying back. Um, Firstly, very good evening. I hope all of you are doing well. Uh, we have with us Miss Ojsvi, who is going to be taking up this session. Before I begin, I'll also be recording this session for internal quality purpose. So thank you once again for joining us. It's a pleasure to host this session for all of you and to introduce our speaker for today, Miss Ojsvi Sharma. She is a senior career counselor at iDream Career, and she brings expertise in the Indian education system and counseling interventions across schools in Delhi NCR. She has a bachelor's degree in education and a master's in psychology, and she specializes in counseling, psychotherapy, and inclusive education. In today's session, we are going to be covering key aspects and details that you would need to know regarding the CUET 2026. We are going to broadly discuss important dates, fee details, certain key links, the step-by-step application processes, documents that students will require, exams, marking schemes, subject offered, as well as the do's and don'ts at the exam center. Thank you so much, everyone. Ojsvi, I will hand over the session to you now.
Thank you so much. A very good evening to all of you. Our apologies for getting a little delayed in starting this, but rest assured, we'll make sure that all the points that we are here to discuss today are covered and we've discussed them in detail. We are keeping all the questions towards the end so that anybody who's joined us on the YouTube live can also send their questions and we can respond to all of that. I hope you won't need to ask a lot of questions and most of it will be covered in this session. But if still there's anything remaining, you can always please send us the questions and we'll get back to you. All right. With that being said, I know I can interact more with the audience here on Zoom and the YouTube live audience. Please feel free to drop your comments and questions in the chat box, YouTube chat as well, and Lalita will relay them to us. So please feel free to do that. How many of you have actually gone through the the notification, the circulars and the whole NTA website and all of that? Like through and through. I'm only asking this so I know what kind of like what level are we working with. The- Hmm. I think we have some students here as well. Students, please feel free to interact. You can use the chat box or you can use like to raise your hand. Only see two people raising their hands, which when I said who has read the notification or has gone through the notification. I am seeing this and it is very concerning for me because recently also even today I was talking to a student where we are seeing that they had not gone through the notification properly or they've not went through the eligibility criteria or requirements properly. So instead of presenting you everything into a PPT, we are going to talk about the PPT, of course. We will be touching upon all the important points in the PPT. But I was thinking that maybe we can walk through the important parts of the notification and what you need to focus on, what all is it that you need to really, really pay attention towards, and the NTA website itself as well. Right. So there will be three parts to it. We will be discussing some important major points in the PPT. Then we will be moving towards the notification, and we'll be walking through the important parts of the notification, and then the NTA website. I'll tell you the whole process as to how you can go through and make the most of your application in this case. All right, great. And grade 12 students who are with us, all the very best for your boards and all the very best for everything ahead. Please be very mindful, very careful when you're filling your forms. 30th is the last date to submit your CUET applications. Please don't push it to the last date. Please don't keep this application to be filled on the last date. Please ensure that everything is filled and submitted by 28th or 29th, because we never know. There might be rush on the website, some, glitches and all that. To avoid all of that and to take full, take your time, please fill your form timely. Okay, great. So I'll just share my screen and we can start discussing. All right, I hope my screen is visible to everybody. A thumbs up would be good at this point.
Yes, it is Ojsvi.
Okay, great. So, first of all, Common University's entrance test, what all we will be covering. We are going to talk about the broad features, important details, important dates, fee details, all of that. Key links, important key primary links that you definitely need to refer to and focus on. Application, we will be talking about the step-by-step process of application, which is mentioned in your notification as well. We will be walking through that, and the essential documents that are required and in which format or form they are needed, all of that. Exam structure, marking scheme, subject languages, etc. And do's and don'ts at the center, what needs to be done for the test, how you can refer for that, etc. All of that. And we are discussing some specific requirements of some of the top colleges and what colleges, what kind of institutions fall under this particular examination. We will be talking about that as well. These are our major talking points for today. All right. So for an overview of what CUET is, what is this about? I think till last year, this was very debatable that if a science student needs to fill CUET forms or does not, and all that. We always say that when you're keeping backups like BSc courses, CUET is an important exam, because BSc courses, be it in colleges like Delhi University or even DTU, etc., as well, they have their BSc courses under CUET. But when last year notifications rolled out, we saw some universities offering even their BTech programs through CUET, considering universities like AKTU and all, which have even those programs under CUET. And additionally, ICAR, which is the Agricultural Institute, they also got under CUET. So all the agriculture-based programs, agricultural research programs, also got under this one, one exam or one one stop for you. So to answer the question, yes, science students do need to fill this form. Everybody needs to fill this form, wherever you are from, whatever kind of courses you are looking for. Maybe not in one particular college, but you will find that particular course under CUET in some other college or some other university. Now we need to understand what the conducting body is and what the purpose of this exam is. There are central universities which fall under CUET. Central universities might have all of their programs through CUET, or they might have other exams for it as well. We will be discussing this later, but I'm just giving you an example here. For example, Delhi University, as one of the famous ones, Delhi University has most of its courses that they take admission from for through CUET. But certain courses like BLLB programs, the integrated law program at Delhi University, the admission for that is through CLAT. Similarly, there is a ITEP, Integrated Teacher Education Program at Delhi University. The admission for that is through a separate entrance exam, which is NCET. So you might find certain courses under said universities which are not offered via CUET. So CUET देने से पहले, it is very, very important that you check the kind of courses that you're applying for, you are eligible for those courses, and the university that you're going to or planning to go to is accepting CUET scores for those said courses. These are very, very important points. Everybody needs to keep these in mind, right? This is conducted by NTA. There is only one single window where you need to go and fill this form. NTA CUET, if you'll type on your Google, it will open up this one page. You need to go through the information bulletin thoroughly. You need to look through the information. If you're a counselor, you're a student, you're a parent also, you need to go through the information bulletin properly, through and through. You need to check every single detail, what is required, what is not required, all of that. Submission of application also will only be through the NTA website. Participating universities list is also given on the website. This is also another important link that you should not miss out when you're filling your forms. And then syllabus as well. You will see that a lot of courses will follow NCERT syllabus, like a lot of subjects are following, especially domain subjects will follow NCERT syllabus. But apart from that, you need to check general aptitude syllabus for general aptitude in various languages. And in that case, you need to check this out, right? Now, comparison between CUET, what it was in 2024 and what it is today in 2026. From last year, from 25 to 26, there hasn't been a lot of changes, which is a good thing because we don't have to catch up with a lot of things right now. If you were updated last year, if you had if you had a sibling who had filled the form last year, or if you're a counselor who has helped students fill the forms last year, there aren't a lot of changes this year per se, but still we are talking about how this is transitioned from what it used to be to what it is now. Earlier, you could take up to 6 subjects, but now you can only take 5 subjects in CUET. These 5 subjects includes the GAT and the language section as well. So languages, domain, and general aptitude, these are considered to be split three divisions that are there. These are not three sections. None of it is compulsory. None of it is said that you will have all these three or you'll have to give in all these three. It just depends on the requirement of the college or the university. Earlier, the exam used to be hybrid, but now it is only in online CBT, computer-based test mode. Um, Earlier, you only could give CUET in subjects you were studying in 12th, but now any subject you can sit for in CUET, regardless of if you've studied that subject in 12th or not. Very important thing to note here, which CUET also in its guidelines mentions, is that, sorry, important thing to note here that CUET also mentions in its guidelines is that you can give exam in any of the subjects even if you have not studied that said subject in your 12th, but that completely depends on the university that you're going to, if the university accepts that or does not. So in the end, you need to check your specific university requirement and specific university's acceptance. If the universities are accepting, say, okay, fine, you can give exam for this particular subject, say mathematics, even if you didn't have it in 12th. If the university is accepting that, it's acceptable. Otherwise, CUET does not have any preferences or does not have any set criterias, right? Um, Earlier, there used to be the time duration for the exam used to vary. For physics and mathematics exam, it used to be more than rest of the exams. Now it's a standard 60 minute. All questions there are going to be 50 and all questions are going to be compulsory. There are no optional questions included. Number of subjects in domain. Earlier, there used to be a heavier list of domain subjects, about 63. Now, since last year, the that list has drastically reduced to 37. Subjects like legal studies, fashion studies, entrepreneurship, and all have been removed from the domain subject list since then. All right. I hope everybody is aware about this. Everybody has gone through this, but still, I'm reiterating. The last date is on 30th January. 31st is till when you can finally, you can successfully do the fee submission. So if let's say on 30th, you have filled the rest of the details, you have submit, like, you've logged in the form and everything, you just left to fill to submit the fees, you can do that on 31st. Correction window will open from 2nd to 4th February. Correction in particulars will be allowed from in during this window. City of examination announcement of that will be done later, and downloading admit card also, same NTA website you'll be able to download admit cards, that will be done later as well. Examination tentative dates are to be 11 to 31st of May. That is what we are seeing. This is the fee detail. Again, if you have gone through the brochures, if you have gone through the notification yourself, you would have seen this fee structure. For up to three subjects, it is standard. Then for each additional subject, there is an additional charge to it. And depending on whichever category you are in, you can pick this. All right. So these are some of the broad features of the CUET examination. Like I said, there are 37 total subjects. In these 37 subjects, there are 13 languages, 23 domain-specific subjects, and one is called the General Aptitude Test. There are a lot of questions around the General Aptitude Test. Who should give? Should I give? Should I not give? And all that. You really need to check the specific college eligibility. You need to go through the website once yourself and check for yourself if the college, the course that you're planning to go to is asking for general aptitude or not. For example, Delhi University, say for courses like political sciences and psychology, does not ask for general aptitude. But Banaras Hindu University does. Banaras Hindu University says if you want to do any BA honors courses, you need to give the general aptitude test. So it varies from course to course and college to college. So you really need to check. Generally, what is assumed is for courses like law, business management, or journalism, mass communication. For courses like these, it is said that you really need general aptitude. It is the GAT is something that anyway is required for those kind of courses, usually. Then medium of instruction, the 13 languages that you see amongst subjects are also the 13 mediums that the papers can be available in. The syllabus, you can, like I said, there is a said window on the NTA website where you can go and check the syllabus. You can go and check all that there. Domain specific subjects will have NCRT syllabus. Language subjects will have more of reading comprehension, vocabulary, literary aptitude, etc. And general aptitude has GK, current affairs as well. Reasoning, numerical ability, mental ability, all of this will come there. Number of papers. Now, you can select up to 5 paper. There is no minimum number anywhere. There is not that you have to give 3 or you have to give 2 or you have to give. There is no minimum number anywhere. Maximum you can give 5 only. Okay. So say for the courses that you are looking at, you've checked 3 or 4 universities that you want to go to, and the courses you are looking at, only English and GAT is required. You can choose to give that only. Not highly recommended because that closes your option for other courses and for backup options. But there is no minimum number of subjects that you need to pick up in CUET. Maximum, only 5 can be done. This 5 includes your language and general aptitude. All of that comes here. The marking scheme is +5, -1. Students, please keep this in mind. If you have not been practicing the negative marking kind of question papers, please try and do some test series, try and do some question papers where you can get the idea or the sense of how negative marking can actually take away a lot more points. We really don't need to do just assume things and just answer even if we don't know the answer. Please make sure that you're responding to the questions that you're absolutely sure about. Otherwise, leave that question. Negative marking should be avoided at all costs. It is a CBT, like I said, computer-based test, 50 questions per paper. All questions are compulsory. And this will be a 60-minute test per test. I do see some students having this question that is it a single test? Is this multiple tests? It seems basic, but I know that seems basic to us as counselors, but I know you students are giving this exam for the first time, and it's okay if you have that question or that query. These are like your board examination. You will get a date sheet. You might have like 2 exams in the same day as well, in the morning shift and in the evening shift. There are 2 different shifts of the examination. So let's say you have picked 3 subjects or 4 or 5 subjects in your CUET exam. Every subject will be a different paper. Every subject paper is a separate subject in itself. So 60 minutes ke 3 paper, 4, 5, however many subjects you have filled up to 5. Every single test will be a different separate test. You'll have to go to the center, give the exam. It can be in the morning or the evening shift as well. So every single one will be different. You will get like sort of a date sheet, which day your exam is and where. You will get all that in the admit card that you will be getting. You'll get all that. I am seeing something in the chat box. Honors के लिए कौन से subjects important? Okay. Just 1 second. BCom best subject combination. Okay. Which subjects for please? All right. So you need to see, we have 92 participants here on this call, and we have a few on the YouTube live as well. I will not be able to respond to specific questions like मेरे subject से what subject should I pick or PCB student को क्या subjects लेने चाहिए and all that. If there is a general question around CUET, I can respond to that. For your specific, I will tell you how you can figure out for yourself what subjects you should be picking up for your said course or with your said subjects, right? I will be getting to that point. If you still have any confusion, you can reach out to IDC separately and we can see how we can help you there. But right now, I don't think I can respond to every single question as to what subjects should I personally take. So a more broader, larger question around CUET, if you have, please put those in, right? Okay. So this is mentioned here. Candidates may select the subject based on the eligibility criteria of a program for a desired university, right? So this is a very, very important information. You need to check the universities first and what is it that they are offering. All right. Now, I would like to walk you through the portal itself. I think that will be. I hope my screen is visible again. Okay. So this is where you go to fill your form. I'm sure everybody has gone to this website. This is cuet.nta.nic.in. You scroll down here, you get the registration for CUET UG 2026 over here. You click on this and you can register yourself and you can start filling the form. But before you do this, there is a lot more that you need to be very, very aware of. Here on top, they've given this sort of toolbar of sorts, which you really need to move. You need to go through once properly. Among under information, you will find the information bulletin. You can find all the information, every single detail, everything that you need to know about CUET. All of that is mentioned under here. I will tell you some of the important things that you definitely need to be on a lookout for in this information brochure. Important details like on page number 6, last date of submission, correction particulars, website where you can fill the form, all of that is there. Fee structure and all, like all this that we've discussed is mentioned on the brochure, on the information bulletin itself. Then when we come back here, this is the syllabus. Please click on this and check syllabus for the subjects that you are aiming to go for. Say you are aiming to go for biology, biological sciences, or anything of that sort. The syllabus is properly mentioned here. Which units are coming, what will be under each unit, all of that information is mentioned over here. So please ensure that you're going through the syllabus properly. Then a very, very important link on this is this universities. When you click on universities, it shows you a list of central, state, deemed, private, and other government institutions, right? Here, this is where you can find information about your desired university or your specific university. Say, for example, I go to central universities. I'm looking at Aligarh Muslim University or maybe Banaras Hindu University. Let's say I'm looking at BHU. I'm looking at psychology at BHU. BHU has BA honors courses in all these: economics, history, pol science, sociology, psychology. I don't know if you can see this. I'll just make this larger. Right. It has psychology, sociology, economics, etc. And then it mentions the domain or subjects that are required in CUET. It has mentioned those subjects: language, English or Hindi, and then the general aptitude test. Along with that, it also mentions the eligibility for the program. Eligibility as in age as well is mentioned here. CUET although says that there is no specific set age requirement. You can be of any age if you want to give CUET. But here you can see that age is mentioned under specific university. So CUET ke guidelines are not university guidelines. CUET does not ensure admission to universities. Universities have to be checked first. University criteria, university requirements, university details have to be checked first before filling the CUET form, right? And then it says 10 plus 2 or equivalent examination securing 50% marks at least in 10 plus 2. And if you're doing economics, you must have studied mathematics, right? So this is something that we need to be very, very aware of and very critical of when we are going through this. एट टाइम्स हमें कभी कभी कुछ यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के लिए ऐसा लगता है कि वो तो गवर्नमेंट यूनिवर्सिटी है, व्हाई कांट आई फाइंड इट अंडर हेयर, इट्स अ गवर्नमेंट यूनिवर्सिटी. इट्स probably यू आर नॉट एबल टू फाइंड इट हेयर probably because it's a state university, it's a state government run university. Government universities, because are of two types, it can be a central run or a state run university. It can be a state one as well, like for example Delhi Technological University or Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University of Delhi. Both of these are state government, Delhi state government universities. You can click on this and you can check the requirements for that. It mentions specifically what you need to be having in 12th, what subjects you need to be need to give exam in CUET, what courses you can apply for through that. So before, when you are on this CUET NTA portal, before you go down, scroll down here, that is why they have put this scroll sort of a thing, that before you go down here, you need to check all the information that is provided up here. You need to go through all the details and all the information properly then. Right? Okay, there is something in the chat. Let me check. Raveen is asking which subjects for art student in CUET, art subject or humanities students. Humanities is a very, very vast domain. Humanities students, there is a choice of around, I think, 20 plus subjects that students choose from across schools. So I can't really help in that unless we are sitting one-on-one to discuss. Additionally, like I said, if you are, let's say, I'll take your example. You are, Raveen, an art student. I'm just making an assumption here, an art student who is probably planning to, let's say, do political science honors, right? Now, which university you want to do that honors from? You select that university first over here under central state, wherever that university is, and then check in that university what kind of criteria or what subjects are required for you to be filling in CUET, right? Okay. Now talking about what are some of the important tips and important points, important information that you need to keep in mind. You always need to list the target university and the courses before you start with anything else. So before you jump into filling your form, or before you start completing or submitting these forms, you need to ensure your universities that you're going for and the courses that you're planning to apply for. Check eligibility for each and every course. Are you eligible for it or not? Like I said, CUET says that you can give exam in subjects that even if you have not studied in them in 12th. But for example, Delhi University clearly stated in their brochure last year that only the subjects that you have studied in 12th, if you have given the same subjects in CUET, then only they'll be accepted. So अगर आपके 12th और CUET subjects match नहीं हो रहे हैं तो Delhi University doesn't consider those subjects. So CUET के guidelines might be different than university specific guidelines. इसलिए आप जब CUET information bulletin go through करेंगे, you will see on that information bulletin that time and again they are mentioning every single time whenever they give their own guideline, they always mention check specific university guidelines, check specific university requirements. This is what they mean by that. Each university requirement has to be checked in detail before filling the CUET form, right? So it's like you're targeting the university pehle se and then you are sitting down to fill your form, right? um All right. You need to finalize your CUET subjects before submitting the form. Scan and keep your documents ready. ID proof has to be updated. This has been a major concern this year, because this year's information brochure is this year's bulletin, and under CUET has given out an advisory that your Aadhaar card should be updated, which we've been saying for a long time. Your Aadhaar card should irrespective be updated. A lot of students have their childhood photographs on their Aadhaar card when they were in, say, grades first or second. When you will go to the center with this particular Aadhaar card, or when they will do your cross check in the background, when they'll do the cross check, as you have put in the Aadhaar card number, in that case, if there is any discrepancy, if they're seeing कि photo बहुत बचपन की है या ऐसा कुछ है, there are chances that it might create some problem for you. So please ensure that your Aadhaar cards are updated. Now I understand we are on 27th now, 30th is the form submission and all that, and Aadhaar card update. They're only asking you to put the number, ID number of your Aadhaar card. You just put that number there and you go start your Aadhaar card updation process. Updation should be done in 15-20 days. So by the time it comes to verification of all the documents and all, they'll check that number, and the Aadhaar card on that number should be an updated Aadhaar card by the time you go for your examination. So please ensure your address, phone number, and photograph, these three things they have specifically mentioned, should be updated on your Aadhaar card, right? Additionally, web camera on the system, on your laptop or computer system, wherever you are filling this form from, or a camera phone will be required for you to fill the form, because a live photograph has to be clicked. So while you are filling the form, there is a section where you have to put your photograph, but before that you need to click your live photo also. It is being matched, your live photo and the passport size photo that you put in, that will be matched. So that has to be put in, of course, right? In case if you're someone who if you're a person with disability, then in that case there are assessment reports have to be signed by government hospital. The forms for a scribe and all that are given in the end annexures of the your information bulletin. It is there. Minimum percentage I need to secure in class 12 for a DU PCB student. Okay. Aradhya, to answer this question, I'm taking a question in between, I know, but to answer this, CUET, after you've completed your after you've received your CUT score, DU has been saying time and again that there is a certain weightage that they attach to your 12th class percentage. That weightage is yet not known. But what it is considered or what it is thought of is that uh, anytime there are three or four students on the same rank, usually board percentages by many universities are being used as a tiebreaker. So I can't really say how much percentage. Of course, in CUET, there has to be a certain score, or there has to be a certain benchmark. There has to be certain number marks that you need to have to qualify the cutoff or to move forward with the list. But overall, with your 12th class percentage, it is usually being used as a tiebreaker by a lot of universities. Or in certain cases, like BHU mentions that at least 50% you have to have in 12th, at least this much you have to have in this grade. All that also you will see in a lot of universities. I think we have some questions from the YouTube. Um, Mark deduction if I go to do BA psychology but don't have it as a subject in my class 12th. I'm a PCB student. Marks deduction in what sense? Marks deduction, some universities might not consider it. Like I said, Delhi University specifically states if your subjects in 12th and your subjects in CUET does not match, they will not count the score of that particular subject. So in that case, though, if you don't have psychology and you are still giving psychology as an exam in CUET, then some universities will not consider it. One. Second, mark deduction. If I go for BA psychology as a PCB student, you are giving PCB exam only. PCB, physics, chemistry, biology, you are giving in CUET, but you're applying for BA psychology, you can apply. There is no marks deduction because it's automatically you are sitting or competing with the students who are, say, giving political science, psychology, sociology as their paper, and you are giving physics, chemistry, and biology as your paper. So automatically the cutoff will adjust itself. So anyway, there's no mark deduction there. Class 10 score question. What do I need to tell about that? There is, you need to put your CGPA, you need to put your percentage there and put your 10th mark sheet. What to fill in class 10 score in CVT? Final score? Yeah, you will have your board mark sheet, your 10th board mark sheet has, आपके पास 5 subjects थे तो out of 5 जो आपका total score था, you need to put that as your 10th score, or as percentage, you can put that. PCMB student subject should I choose? Again, this is a very personal one-on-one question. What is deemed? Okay. Deemed universities are the universities which are doing well with their research work or research programs and have been given a specific or a special criteria as deemed. They started out as institutions. They are UGC recognized. They have UGC recognition. That is very important for any university. But they become deemed because they've been doing some certain sort of like work in towards research or towards any particular field, advancement towards that, or they're getting a lot of grants or for research work particularly. Importance of this exam, I think I've been talking about the importance of this exam from the start. Government university is good for not political science owners. Not understanding the question, please repeat yourself. Good university available under my subject. I don't know what your subjects are. How to select good university available under my subjects? Again, I don't know what your subjects are, and this is a very personal one-on-one question. Normalization process of scores, is the subject difficulty vary for different stream student if they are applying for the same courses like humanities? Subject difficulty, I mean, the subject in itself has different course or different curriculum. You're giving a biology paper or you're giving a sociology paper, of course they will have their sort of set of questions. So yes, normalization is not in public knowledge. This is university specific. There is no normalization that CUET does. Universities do their own kind of that, and they will release theirs when they will get out with their when their specific university brochures will come out. No, grade 10 scores do not affect your CUET scores. You need to perform in CUET separately and you need to do well in CUET. Filled my Aadhaar card but updated it later, but the image in form shows old one only. You've updated the one that you have, that is fine. Now then, well, whenever they will cross check it, they will do that with the Aadhaar ID that you have given. It should show an updated one. Another thing which a lot of students are asking about the application process or the application form is the, sorry, is the APAR ID number. So APAR ID this year not compulsory. You can fill no also. But if I am not wrong, CBSE also asked for APAR ID. So I think schools have created your APAR ID. If you're a student who does not know about your APAR ID, go to your DigiLocker. You will have your APAR ID there. और ask your school how to navigate that or how to help you find that. डिजी पर आप सबका अपार आईडी इस पॉइंट पे होना चाहिए और होगा. अगर आपको उसमें कोई भी प्रॉब्लम या कोई भी कंसर्न आ रहा है, अपार आईडी में कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन गलत आ रही है, कोई भी चीज़ है, प्लीज चेक विद योर स्कूल, गेट दैट करेक्टेड. बिकॉज अगर CUET में वो कंपलसरी नहीं है, डजेंट मीन दैट यूनिवर्सिटीज विल नॉट मेक इट कंपलसरी, बिकॉज यू आर मूविंग more towards a credit transfer system, and in this case APAR ID is going to become more and more important. So graduation colleges and universities and their applications might ask for APAR. So please ensure that it is all right and in place and working and functioning absolutely fine. For now, if there's any concern, you can just tick on no and continue, not fill APAR ID at all. But yeah, if you have, you can fill one. 6 subjects in class 10th. I have to put the total marks of 6 or only 5. We can check on that. Check what exactly the prompt on the form is. We can look at that and then we can decide. I can check that and get back to you. Uh, which state in India is this exam applicable to? Again, not understanding your question. Every state, lot of state. Karnataka has its colleges under it. Central University of Karnataka and Andhra are under it. Delhi is University Colleges of Delhi. This is not a state. It's a national level exam. This is not a state specific exam. It's a national level exam with central, state, deemed, private, and other government institutions under it, participating under it. So there is nothing specific of that sort. Fees for taking five subjects in the, I think I have shown the fees in the starting. It's about 1,000 up to three subjects for general category, and then I think 450 per subject is being added. I think that was first or second slide only. We can you can go back once this comes up on YouTube and then maybe check. 10 total subjects are six including skill subject. Then okay, again, a very specific question can be answered in one-on-one instead. Okay. Shall we change our category certificate at the time of counseling? Whatever category certificate you're putting right now in your CUET forms, whatever you're doing right now, that is it. How do you change your category certificate? I'm not, I'm a little blank on that question. It is very different from state level examinations. Sudhir has asked the question. State level examinations offer admissions to state led universities. This is a national level examination which has multiple universities under it, almost all central, and many state universities participate under it. Sports preferences. See, once again, this is an examination only. This does not ensure admission to any college, any university. So the quotas, your ECAs, your sports, single girl child, Kashmiri migrant, any of that does not apply here. Only thing that apply here is the person with disability category. That is because in case if you need a scribe, if you need some support, if you need some help, that is what they need to know, because this is just an exam. There are no number of seats under CUET. There are no guaranteed admission to any universities through CUET. जब आप यूनिवर्सिटी के फॉर्म्स अलग से भरेंगे, when you will come to the universities and fill university forms, there you will get the option to fill your sports requirement, your ECAs, your extracurricular, and your, if you have, if you from which category you are from, all of that fills in there during your specific college or university applications. CUET is just an exam. All right. So it's not like there are set number of seats under CUET or something like that. Number of seats are still with colleges and universities. They decide how much of it, as in like 50% may, what is the reservation like. Okay. So the application process, I'll get back to the questions, otherwise we'll not be able to finish this on what I want to talk about. Application process, first is your registration form. You go to the dashboard and first it asks you to, register yourself in, sign up online, and then you get a system generated application number. Then the application form opens up, where you need to put that application number and password and complete your personal educational program choices, test preference, all of that. Fee payment has to be done, and after which you get the confirmation page, which you can download from here. These are the requirements, the document requirement, important document requirement that you need to keep in mind. Photograph, like I have already said, a live photograph will also be captured, which should match your passport size photograph. Also, your recent passport size photograph, color with background, and 80% face, including ears, no mask, all of that. The specific said requirements, JPEG or JPG, all of that is mentioned. The size of the image is mentioned. Clear and legible, it should be. Signature, disability or UID certificate, if you're eligible for that, if you're applying through that category. And identity proof, if you are putting anything other than Aadhaar card, because Aadhaar, you can put the number directly. If you're using anything other than Aadhaar as identity proof, then a JPG or JPEG of that also has to be included here. Right. Okay, before I move further with this, I wanted to walk you through this part again. Yes, a state board student can apply to CUET. Absolutely, they can. Someone has asked that question. They can. You can, if you're a state board student, you can apply to CUET. No, GAT is not a compulsory subject. It is not necessary to choose GAT. But if you are looking at certain courses or certain universities, like I have already mentioned, if you are, say, looking at a BA Psychology at Banaras Hindu University, GAT is mandatory. If you are looking at courses like law or journalism or business management, say at Delhi University or something like that, GAT again becomes mandatory. So very specific to university and college. Is there any chance उसमें center में availability का issue होगा? You are not seeing DBSC board in that, then yes, the if there is an option to select other, मतलब जो boards दिए हुए हैं उस board के अलावा, if there is a option that says others and then mention your board, then select that word others and then mention your board, then of course. Don't select any random board, obviously. Just select yours only, and if yours is not mentioned, there would be others, and click on that and select yours or type yours. Okay. I wanted to show you this. So this is the information brochure, like we were talking about, that this is an important, this is very important for us. So if we go to page 74 of this, from page 74 onwards, for those of us who are counselors, this is important. Sorry, 70. Right. If we go 74 onwards, this is a replica of the online application forms for the counselors here. You can look at this to understand the requirements of the form, what is needed. Like I said, you go to the link that was shown earlier. This is basically when you are on the home page of NTA CUET. This is the registration link. You click here and it takes you to the registration page first. This is what the registration page will look like. You're registering for the first time. You click on new registration, and then you put you're supposed to download, of course, the brochure and have all that information. These are the steps: the registration, application, and the fee payment. It shows you all the information that is required, the steps for it. All of this is mentioned here. From page 74 onwards, the online application replica is here. When you come to registration, students have to fill in their name, father's, mother's name, candidate's date of birth. All of that has to be filled in. Again, has to be confirmed with your permanent address and how to communicate, how to get to you. So your email and phone number, all of that has to be put in also. Once all of this is done, you can verify your phone number by sending an OTP to your number. And after this, you can start completing your application form or application process. As I said, registration, once it is done, your application number will be generated over here. Then when you start the application process, it asks you, right. When you start the application process, we have filled all this information in the registration itself. When we get to the application process, it will ask us further questions if disability is there, what, sorry, yeah, disability related questions, if that is there, and what kind of certificates you're attaching for that. Then personal identity card, ID card, all of that has to be selected and then submitted over here. After which Aadhaar card number and the information related to Aadhaar card, all of that has to be entered. Then comes the subject selection part. This is where you get to select your test papers. Now, like I said, you can pick up to 5 papers here. So say you're selecting one amongst languages, which is English, then you can select 1 or 3 or 4 or like 2 from the domain subjects. And if for the courses you are going for, general aptitude is important, then you select GAT also in the same category. So you select your subjects in this stage, on this particular stage, after which it asks you to put your cities of preference. You put that. All the cities of preference have to be, choices, cities where you want to, exam state where you want to go to give the exam, all of that. It also asks you for the medium of the paper also. Please don't put any medium which you have not studied in. If your 12th grade was in English, please select English only. If it was in Hindi, please select that. Because if you're thinking that paper in Hindi will be easier or paper in English will be easier, the terminology is completely flip. It's completely different for a different language, and the paper medium of instruction will become that automatically. right? Then it asks you for your 10th scores, CGPA, maximum grade point, all of that that is obtained in 10th. You have to put all of that here. I think CGPA conversion will also be given. You can, I think it gives you the option to select. You can select the result mode in CGPA. You can select it in percentage. You can select it in total marks also. If it is percentage that you have received from 10th boards, you put that. If you've received it in total marks, you put that. However many subjects were on your, on your 10th mark sheet, use that. There will be a total score on your 10th board's mark sheet as well. You need to put all of that information with your 10th roll number and all of that over here. Then 12th, as you are, most of you students are the ones who are appearing for it, you press appearing over here. If you're a student who's giving CUET after 1 year gap of 12th, then you can put your 12th information, all your 12th related details as well, right? Once that is done, every stage it asks for a captcha code. All of that has to be put in. Country, email ID, OTP related to your phone number that has to be sent. All of that entered. Then it asks you to click a picture of yourself. If your laptop, your computer has a camera, you can click your picture right there. If it does not, there will be a QR code also. You can select, you can scan the QR code and click the picture from your phone. So if your system, wherever you're filling the form from, does not have that, through QR code, you can you can click the picture via your phone as well. Your photograph has to be uploaded. So like I said, photograph, signature, ID proof of any kind. If you have not put in Aadhaar card, if there's any other ID, that has to be put in. If you're a person with disability and you have certificate, of course, you should have a certificate for that. That also has to be put in over here, right? After which you have to finally submit. And then once you recheck all the information, definitely check the subjects that you have applied for, that you're filling, the states, city that you have selected for your examination. After you cross check and make sure that all the information that you have provided is right, you can click on I agree and continue. And then only the last steps that will be pending will be the fee payment process after this, right? After which, once you pay the fee or submit the fees, your form will be submitted and you will get the final um, you know, the final document where you can download that particular one after that. Okay, we have some questions. Nutrition subject of part of home science. बीकॉम ऑनर्स के लिए इकोनॉमिक्स बिजनेस अकाउंटेंसी इंग्लिश फिजिकल एजुकेशन जीएटी लेना पड़ेगा क्या again a very specific question. Where are you looking at BCom honors? Which universities are you considering? Is this specific to anything? Some university which allow only if you write some particular subject other than the three common subject. I'm not understanding your question. Yashvita, which are these universities? Please mention. Allow if you write one particular subject other than the three. I'm again not understanding the question. What do you mean? What are these universities? What subjects are they asking for? Please be more specific. Again, a more one-on-one question. Maybe we can discuss that later. Okay, so like I said, CUET itself does not have an age limit, but we have seen this in the starting that like BHU mentioned that there is a specific age limit for certain programs. There will be that by universities. Students who have passed 12th or equivalent will appear for CUET 2026 are eligible. Applicant must meet any specific age requirement set by the chosen university. Multiple application forms must not be submitted. If there are multiple application forms found under your name, your रिजल्ट विल स्टैंड कैंसल्ड. सो कई बारी हमें ऐसा लगता है कि अच्छा इस वाले फॉर्म में कुछ गलती हो गई, फिल करते टाइम हमने ठीक से नहीं भरा था या कुछ ऐसा है तो अब दोबारा भर देते हैं. प्लीज डोंट डू दैट. वेट फॉर द करेक्शन विंडो टू कम अप एंड देन मेक योर करेक्शंस, बट प्लीज डोंट डू दैट. Right now, this is the list of subjects under CUET. Like I said, there are 37 in total, 13 languages, 23 domain, and one general aptitude test. These are the language subjects. These are also the languages in which the medium of paper, medium of instructions is available. So if you want to give exam in, or you are you're a native speaker of some other language, you can select that particular language as medium of instruction as well. Over here, these are the 23 domain specific subjects. In domain specific subjects, you can see that Sanskrit here, 325. Sanskrit is mentioned as a domain subject. It is not a language subject. Sanskrit is a domain subject and it will not be translated. So the Sanskrit paper will be in Sanskrit only. The questions, the requirements, all of that, it will be that only. So it will not be a translated paper, right? Somebody has asked nutrition. Yes, nutrition is a part of the home science curriculum. Nutrition as a subject is not there separately. It is a part of the home science books and home science curriculum. People, students study about it, and home science as a subject is available under CUET. Then we have the general aptitude. Now, what is general aptitude? Why is it important? Who gives it? For domain specific subject paper, if you have had entrepreneurship, teaching aptitude, fashion, tourism, legal, the subjects which are not in CUET, you can alternate general aptitude for that, give GAT instead. Um, for languages like foreign languages, any of the languages like Korean, Chinese, Pashto, and all that are not under CUET. So for that, also general aptitude usually takes over in those cases. And it will have 5 sections to it: GK and current affair, general mental ability and numerical ability, quantitative reasoning, logical and analytical reasoning, and environmental sciences. These are the core main sections of the paper itself, right? So this is the general aptitude test. There is a lot of confusion around the GAT. Again, reiterating, it is not a mandatory field. It is not a mandatory paper, but you need to go through the said specific university or course if it is making sense for you. If the ones that you are applying for, that you want to go for, the course or university that you want to go for, if it requires the GAT, you'll have to give the GAT, right? All right. So these are some examples of the kind of universities that are under here. Central, not state, these are actually central universities. Um, Central universities like DU, BHU, Aligarh Muslim Universities, all or Aligarh Muslim University, all of these are under CUET. Other government institutions like Lakshmibai National Institute of Physical Education, ICAR, Indian Council for Agricultural Research, all of these, etc., are under CUET. State universities like Ambedkar, DTU, deemed universities like Jamia Hamdard and TIS, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, all of these kind of categories, and additionally private universities as well. Thing with private universities, they have multiple admission processes. Private universities at the same time might be accepting, say, their own entrance exam scores or some other entrance test scores for that said particular course as well. So that has to be checked with private universities. Now, university admissions, very, very important. I've been saying this from the starting. Appearing for CUET UG 2026 does not guarantee your admission to any university. You have to fill the university forms separately later. Admission depends on your eligibility, merit, rank, document verification. University specific criterias have to be met. University admissions are conducted separately and independently. CUET is just an exam जिसका score इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा उन admission processes में for those said universities, right? Counseling schedule, merit lists, all of that are released by universities after your CUET results. Sometimes, like CSAS portal by DU is usually released parallel to when you're getting your CUET result a day or two prior to that, and all that also happens. Admission updates and queries. For that, you have to refer to specific university websites. NTA does not prepare any kind of merit lists. It only conducts the exam and gives you your score. That's it. मेरिट लिस्ट प्रिपेयर करना, उनमें रैंकिंग बनाना, वो सारी चीजें यूनिवर्सिटीज का काम होता है, एंड यूनिवर्सिटीज डू दैट सेपरेटली. TIS does not have sociology honors. TIS has a honors in social science. It is called a bachelor's in social science, BA social science. It also has social work as a course as well under it. So yeah, that can be looked at. Social work, social sciences, those kind of courses are in TIS. CSAS round after CUET results. I mean, jab CSAS, we'll get to that. Maybe we can have a similar kind of a discussion around it, because last year के CSAS पे हम इस साल discussion नहीं कर सकते. There might be some changes we need to be aware about. If you have PCM, what subjects you need to choose. Again, it's not about what subjects you have, it's about what subjects the university is asking, what course you are going for, what university are you applying for. This is not really enough information for me to comment on. And very personal, very one-on-one, I think this discussion will require. Okay. Now this is an example of something that I was showing you on the NTA dashboard as well. Like for example, for BCom honors, Delhi University, when we talk about DU, it is asking for any one language, but DU specifies that your subjects of 12th and CUET should match. So any one language, matlab automatically it becomes, if you've studied English in 12th, you can give only English in CUET. So that is there. Then math, applied math, accountancy, bookkeeping, anyone works. So you can give accountancy also if you didn't have mathematics. So math is not a compulsory subject here. So anyone works. Plus any two domain subjects. Now, any two domain subjects, I think somebody has asked a question regarding BCom. General aptitude is not a requirement at Delhi University for BCom per se, but any two domain subjects are needed. So, say for example, if a student has business studies, economics, accountancy, say psychology, and English, they can give all five. They can sit for that. Now, the thing that you need to take care of here or need to note here is, let's say I take language, I do accountancy, and in the two domains, I have taken economics and BST. Psychology, I didn't want to give exam of. So I wanted to keep some other options, like if you see over here, BBA, BMS like courses which have GAT as a mandatory criteria. So I keep general aptitude over here also. So accountancy ki jagah, let's say I'm doing math. So I have English, I have mathematics, I have economics, I have business studies, and I'm giving general aptitude. जहां पर जनरल एप्टीट्यूड मैंडेटरी है विच इज कोर्सेज लाइक बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट बीबीए एफआईए बीएमएस एंड ऑल, जिन कोर्सेज में जनरल एप्टीट्यूड मैंडेटरी है उन्हीं कोर्सेज में जनरल एप्टीट्यूड का स्कोर काउंट या कैलकुलेट किया जाएगा. जहां पर जनरल एप्टीट्यूड मैंडेटरी नहीं था, अगर मान लो मेरा जीएटी में स्कोर थोड़ा कम भी रह गया है, वहां जीएटी का स्कोर नहीं कैलकुलेट होगा, वहां स्कोर कैलकुलेट होगा जो मेंशन्ड है उसका. यानी एक लैंग्वेज विच इज इंग्लिश का, साथ में क्योंकि मैंने मैथ का पेपर दिया है अकाउंटेंसी और मैथ में से, तो मैथ का और एनी टू डोमेन्स का. अब इस केस में मान लीजिए आप मैथ और अकाउंटेंसी दोनों का एग्जाम देते, राइट आप मैथ अकाउंटेंसी बिजनेस स्टडीज और इकोनॉमिक्स इन चारों सब्जेक्ट्स का एग्जाम देते और इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज का साथ में पेपर देते, तो मैथ अकाउंटेंसी में से जो भी आपका बेटर स्कोर होता वो स्कोर लग जाता वहां पर. एंड देन जो आपके बचे हुए तीन डोमेन्स में से जो बेस्ट टू स्कोर्स होते हैं वो वहां पर चले जाते हैं. सो आप मल्टीपल डोमेन्स के साथ भी जा सकते हैं एग्जाम में. उसमें से जो रिक्वायर्ड है किसी पर्टिकुलर किसी सेड कोर्स के लिए, स्कोर्स उन्हीं सब्जेक्ट्स के कैलकुलेट किए जाएंगे. आई होप आई एम मेकिंग माई सेल्फ क्लियर. Right? Similarly, as we see in Ambedkar University also for business management, any three domain GAT and English, या तो English plus any three domain or English plus general aptitude is what is required for business management, right? Vocational courses के लिए only general aptitude is required. So technically, if you have given say 5 subjects जिसमें से एक आपने general aptitude दिया है, आपका 4 का स्कोर कुछ नहीं कैलकुलेट करेंगे, सिर्फ GAT के स्कोर देख के उसके बेसिस पे they'll give you admission to the vocational course through the BO of course. Right? And similarly for, let's say, DTU, when they're offering BA Economic Honors, mathematics is required, 2 domain subjects are required, and another language is required. Right? So इस तरह से हम अपना this is sorry. Similarly, ICAR, which is Indian Council of Agricultural Research, about 13 programs are available. All of them are under CUET. They have their specifications also, biology, biological studies, biotech, all of that is mentioned. And they, under their eligibility criteria in grade 12, they ask you to have at least 3 out of the 4 science subjects. PCMB में से कोई 3 आपके पास होने चाहिए. और सिर्फ CUET आप उसी में दे सकते हैं जो आपने 12th में पढ़े हैं. तो if you were a PCB student in 12th, you can give PCB. If you were a PCM student, you can give PCM. You can pick and choose. Students जिनके पास agriculture है 12th में, वो agriculture का exam भी दे सकते हैं. You can decide on that. So those specification, ICAR is under other government institutes which comes under the CUET program. Right? Courses like natural farming, community science, forestry, sericulture, all of that comes under ICAR. Now, this is the kind of table that you can make for yourself. This is very helpful, very useful, and very, very important for students as well as the counselors equally. What you need to do is you need to go on Excel sheets or like Google Excel or like Google Sheets or like Excel, Microsoft Excel, whatever works for you. You go there and you create this kind of a table. On one end of it, on one axis of it, you write down the courses you are interested in. I am interested in BBA. I'm interested in BA LLB. I'm interested in psychology. These are the 3 courses I'm looking at. Which universities am I looking at for these courses? I'm looking at DU, I'm looking at DTU, I'm looking at, let's say, Banaras Hindu University, Aligarh Muslim, whatever, however many universities, you list those universities over here. Now, after you have made this table, after you have realized that these are the universities and these are the courses that I'm going for in said universities, you go to the NTA website, the universities where I showed you, every university has mentioned subjects required under it. So now you start putting down those subjects that I want to do this course in this university. These subjects I have to give in CUET. For the next one, for this course, I need to give, say, for example, for business management, I want to do at Delhi University. Math, applied math, GAT, and English is required. For DTU, English and GAT is required. For Ambedkar, English, GAT, and a domain is required. So technically, math is a domain subject. So if I take English, math, and general aptitude, all three are sorted. And even Jamia Hamdard as well, because general aptitude is what was needed. My criteria of mathematics is being fulfilled because of Delhi University. Now, let's say I'm a student who doesn't have math. So then Delhi University automatically closes for me for business management. But still, I can look at DTU, I can look at Ambedkar, I can look at Jamia. All three are giving me admission based on English, GAT. English is common in two, general aptitude is common in all three. So these two subjects and a domain. Let's say I'm a humanities student, I can take psychology as a domain, I can take pol science as a domain, whatever I'm interested in. I take that and I can go for the exam there. So this helps you shortlist the kind of subjects that you'll go for in your CUET examination. Now, initially, when we started having this discussion, I told you that said universities might have different admission processes for different courses. Say, for example, I was talking about Delhi University accepting CLAT scores for the BLLB program, for the law program, integrated law program. Jamia has its own entrance exam for the law program, doesn't accept CUET scores, right? Similarly, you will see in a lot of universities like DTU, Delhi Technological University, has a lot of BTech courses. It is primarily known for its BTech courses, for which it accepts the JEE mains course, right? That's the only entry point for you for BTech courses. But for others, for the business management or economics or even biotech related courses, they do have their admissions through CUET. Similarly, I was talking about ITEP, which is Integrated Program in Teacher Education. That also under Delhi University, CUET score is not accepted. Separate entrance exam, NCET is accepted for that. So there might be some courses. Aligarh Muslim University has a lot of courses which are through Aligarh Muslim University's own entrance, like political science and sociology, etc. They are through AMU's entrance and not through CUET. They have very limited list of courses. Same with Jamia. Jamia has psychology, Jamia has pol science, Jamia has journalism in Hindi. Jamia has a lot of courses, but most of them are through Jamia's separate entrance exam and not through CUET. But some are still under CUET. So that you need to go on specific university. The list that NTA provides of university, it also shows the courses that the university is accepting the CUET score for. So in that case, you need to make that list accordingly, right? This kind of a structure, this kind of a format will help you sort of minimize all of your clutter and just look at the subjects that are important or valid or necessary required for you instead. Make sense? Okay. Now before I get into this, I just wanted to discuss one more thing. When you go to this brochure, the information brochure, on the information brochure, if you'll go to page number 72, this is another important part for persons with disability. All the certifications that are required. If you need a writer, if you need a scribe or a writer for the exam, your certificate for disability, what kind of format it should be in, letter for undertaking, if you're bringing your own scribe, all of these are over here in, I think this is appendix, this should be appendix 10. This is appendix 10. Under this, all these forms are already available. You can print these directly from here and get them filled, or have something in the same format and get that done, right? So for all of those who are looking at a scribe or or a form for persons with disability and all that, please go through this annexure properly. The format is mentioned over here. Please follow that. Okay. All right. Now coming to the examination itself, the paper itself. I've already told you what the paper is going to be like. I don't know. I'm just stuck somewhere. Sorry. Right. I've already told you what the exam is going to be like. It is not one single examination. As many forms as you, as many subjects you're filling in the form, as many papers you'll have to sit for. Section one, it is not like one exam in three sections. These are multiple exams. It's just division of division in three types or three category of list of subjects, right? First, which is languages, 50 question each, all 50 have to be attempted. 60 minutes will be given. I have already given you a syllabus for the examination in the starting. More comprehension, verbal based questions will be here. Domain specific subjects, again, 60 minutes for each paper, 50 questions, all of them compulsory. Domain specific subjects usually are following NCRT syllabus for grade 12, but you should still go through the syllabus section of on the NTA website. And then there is general aptitude. We've talked about how general aptitude has sections, which is um, GK and GK and current affair, logical reasoning, quantitative, all of those sections have to be covered. 50 questions, 60 minutes over here. A very interesting thing that we need to take care of, that we need to note here, that on the same brochure, the same information brochure, which we might have, again, like I'm saying, I doubt this is a very lengthy brochure, I understand that, but there's a lot of important points and important information on this brochure itself. If you'll go to page number 52 of this brochure, you will find guidelines for the CBT itself as well. And on top of that, you can practice a mock test also, which is available on the NTA website. You can click on this link, students, and you can practice a mock test, right? All the CBT guidelines are mentioned here, how to log in, how to put your password, what the welcome screen. So we have to go through this as students, you have to go through this so that it doesn't feel like a surprise when you're going on the exam center. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए वहां पर बैठ के हमें suddenly ऐसा feel हो रहा है कि everything is new. So you should at least be aware of what will come on your screen next. Okay, there will be a logging screen, there will be a welcome screen, general instructions will be given about questions visited, not visited, not answered. All of that is mentioned here. How to navigate, how to move forward, backward, save the question, how to answer a question, clear a response. Please read all of this instruction and all the instructions of the questions properly. All this information and samples of, with photograph, with sample, everything is presented over here. For rough work, there will be rough sheets. They're telling you all that over here. So for exam related information for the paper itself, for how to do the CBT, or if you want to try it out, if you want to do a mock test of that, all that is available to you on this information bulletin, page 52 onwards, right? Okay. Uh, So things to carry in the examination center, of course, we need to take care of this. Admit card, which has to be printed on A4 with self-declaration, that will be downloaded from NTA website. Transparent ballpoint, only one pen. Photograph, same as uploaded in the application for the attendance sheet. Photo ID, valid and original, non-expired, updated photograph. Can be your Aadhaar, can be your 12th board admit card, can be your ID card, can be all of that. PWD certificate, if it is eligible, you should keep that, carry that. Sugar tablet or fruit for diabetic candidates is also allowed inside the examination center. Things that are not allowed, of course, includes any kind of material which will be considered as an unfair means. Study material, electronics, accessories of any kind, clothing should not be heavy or long sleeved clothing. It should be lighter, half sleeve t-shirt or something like that. If you are in any cultural or religious attire, please make sure that you're reaching at least you're suggested to reach 2 hours in advance anyway before the examination. If you're additionally in an attire which is religious or cultural in nature, please reach another hour before that, before the examination, so that there's enough time for frisking and all of that. You can so that aram so you can spend that time with that, right? Slippers or low heel sandals only are allowed. No closed shoes and all that are not allowed. Food and drinks, no packed food, no water bottles, no beverages, nothing is allowed. Unfair means, of course, are not allowed during this. Okay, which brings us towards the end of this particular discussion. Now I can answer the questions. I see a lot of them now. Um, I hope this was you were able to make sense of what we're talking about and how to go about filling your form and what can help, what kind of mistakes to avoid, all of that. CSAS round after later is we decide course which we will choose right now in form, or it can be course as in like, no, you don't. So in the form itself, you only have to select the subjects you're sitting to give the examination of. Course you'll select when you'll go for the universities. When you'll apply to different universities, that's when you select the course, right? But of course, your subjects should be in tune with your course. So you should check the course first, check course criteria eligibility first, but you don't apply it right now, you do that later. BBA subject should we for BBA, what subject should we take for CUET? Again, where are you planning to do BBA from? Which college, which university? Go to the universities wala column, to the universities link on NTA. Check the university you're applying for. So, for example, we saw in Delhi University, math or applied math is necessary. English is needed, general aptitude is needed. So you have to give all those paper. But in DTU, we saw only GAT and English is required. So depends what university you're looking at, which all you are looking at. According to that, you can make your subjects. Mm, Aiming DU PCB BSc course. BSc what course, Aradhya? I have given you how to go about for DU itself. Go to the university section. Question, how many questions to conduct in CUET? How many questions we should write on there? There are 50 questions and all of them are compulsory. If you know all 50 questions, please do all 50 questions. If you are not sure about some, then please don't, because there's a negative marking component to it. There's a +5 -1 kind of a marking scheme. So for every right answer, you will get 5 marks. But if your answer is wrong, you'll get -1. 1 mark will be deducted from your total. But if you just leave the question, then you're losing that particular mark. You're not getting neither losing any mark. So that's better. But there are no optional questions कि minimum इतने आपको attempt करने या maximum इतने. So there is not really something like that. BSc Psychology available in DU or only DU only has BA Psychology. BA Psychology and BA Applied Psychology दो तरह के courses हैं DU में. This is a separate debate on BSc and BA Psychology, what is what. But you can go for a BA Psychology in Delhi University, considered equivalent to a BSc Psychology also. Unless it's a BSc Psychology, which is the RCI recognized one, that is a separate one. But apart from that, everywhere else it's fine. Some universities which allow, again, for BCA, which universities are good for better? Again, a very personal one-on-one question. We'll have to look into that, where you are based out of, what colleges you're looking at, all of that. Um, Thank you, everybody who's saying that it was informative. Thank you so much for joining. Aiming for DU PCB BSc course. Which BSc courses are you applying for? If it is a physics-based course, you will need mathematics as one of your subjects. If it is a biology-based course, you will need bio and two sciences, which is considered physics and chemistry is fine. So depending on course to course varies. I have how many questions? I have answered this. What is the means of psychology course? I don't understand your question. Please elaborate. Okay, I think Lalita has put some questions. Can we change subjects after filling? There is a correction window that is supposed to open from 2 to 4th of Feb, as we saw. But as of now, the circular says that correction window for particulars. Technically, that statement means particulars as in your name and address and all of that. Last year, although, when the correction window opened, there was a chance given to correct your subjects as well. So we can be hopeful about it. Can't say, no guarantees, nothing. I mean, you can maybe call up the helpline number and maybe they'll be able to give you a proper answer on that. But as of now, the circular says correction window for particulars will open from 2nd to 4th Feb. Rest, what all will they allow to correct? Last year तक था. Last year तक जब correction window open हुआ था, students were able to, and some of my students did change subjects. For this year, we can check. Can we continue with the subject in college that we didn't have an option to opt for in school? For example, I want to do philosophy too, but my school. Yeah, sure, you can. Just when you are applying, say आप अगर मान लीजिए DU या BHU में अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, तो जब आप यूनिवर्सिटी का फॉर्म भरेंगे तो उसमें BA philosophy भी आप टिक कीजिए, उसमें आप you can fill that as an option. Definitely you can. कुछ कोर्सेज के देखो एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरियाज होते हैं फॉर कोर्सेज लाइक अगर मान लीजिए आप मुझे बोले आपको BA मैथमेटिक्स करना है, राइट? अब BA मैथमेटिक्स का एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया कि 12th में मैथ्स पढ़ा होना जरूरी है ना? तो उस केस में ऑफ कोर्स नॉट, बट फॉर कोर्सेज जो कि न्यूट्रल हैं, जिन्हें हम बेसिकली स्ट्रीम अग्नोस्टिक बोलते हैं, जहां पर आप किसी भी स्ट्रीम सब्जेक्ट कॉम्बिनेशन सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्शन से आ सकते हैं, देन यू कैन मूव इनटू दैट कोर्स. उस केस में विच फिलोसफी इज वन ऑफ दैम. सो फ्रॉम एनी बैकग्राउंड you can give CUET in the subjects you had in 12th and then apply for or opt for philosophy as a course. आर्ट्स के लिए बता दो. दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए मेरे पास 4 सब्जेक्ट्स, इंग्लिश और हिस्ट्री, पॉल साइंस और इको. सही है. क्या करना है बेटा आर्ट्स में? देर आर अ लॉट ऑफ कोर्सेज अंडर दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी फॉर BA ऑनर्स एंड ऑल दैट. very personal one-on-one question, please reach out separately. We can maybe discuss that. Suggest some good colleges for psychology except DU. That's a conversation for another session. Separate colleges and all that. अगर हम CUET की ही बात करें, CUET में बहुत सारे colleges हैं जो psychology offer करते हैं, like Ambedkar University in Delhi is one of them, which is under CUET. But apart from that, it's again a one-on-one discussion, because a good college can be different for different people. A good college for you might mean different things than it does for somebody else, right? Location, locality, fee structure, education, there are different criteria we all look for. क्या domain subject choose करना चाहिए? So first of all, BDES, where are you looking at BDES? What colleges are you looking at? Please check on that college, that university. Are they accepting CUET scores for BDES or not? First of all. Second, one thing that I need to mention specifically here, for courses like physical education or for courses which are art based courses, fine arts or performing arts, they will always have a component, a physical or a performance based component attached to it later. Say अगर आप BFA, which is bachelor's in fine arts, you are taking, you want to go for BFA, यू गिव द CUET एग्जाम, बट उसके बाद जो यूनिवर्सिटी है, जैसे BHUA या DUA या जो भी यूनिवर्सिटी है, वो अपना एक डिजाइन का या ड्राइंग का एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट भी लेंगे. सो सेपरेट अटैच्ड होगा उसके साथ एक एग्जाम जो CUET के बाद होता है. ऐसे ही जब हम फिजिकल एजुकेशन की बात करते हैं, जैसे हमने लक्ष्मीबाई नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट देखा जो CUET के अंडर है, रिटन एग्जाम CUET होगा, बट उसके बाद ऑन कैंपस फिजिकल एग्जाम और आपकी स्पोर्ट्स रिलेटेड क्या अभी तक अचीवमेंट्स रही हैं वो सब डिस्कस, और वो सारी चीज़ों के लिए आपको कैंपस भी जाना होता है, वो बाद में एक फिजिकल कंपोनेंट भी होता है. सो जो भी इस तरह के एग्जाम है, जो जो फाइन आर्ट्स, परफॉर्मिंग आर्ट्स और फिजिकल एजुकेशन रिलेटेड जो कोर्सेज हैं, उनको प्लीज ध्यान से चेक कीजिए. सिर्फ CUET उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट है. यूजुअली उनके साथ एक एडिशनल रिक्वायरमेंट अटैच्ड होती है, जो CUET के बाद एक एडिशनल, मान लीजिए कोई एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट या कोई फिजिकल वगैरह देना रहता है जिसमें. um Add my Aadhaar card to identity proof. I don't need any other document for. Yeah, you won't. If you have added Aadhaar card, that's fine. If you have added Aadhaar card, that is fine. That is what they are asking for as well. If you have not added Aadhaar, then that's a problem. मतलब not a problem as in जो आप और कोई ID डाल रहे हैं उसकी, then you need to put a photo, of course. Um, Okay, great. I think I have answered all the questions. I think so. If there are still left, I think you can go to the IDC website, and over there on the IDC website there is a help button for where you can where you can chat with our counselors. You can put your queries and questions over there, and we can connect with you, of course.
All right, thank you so much, Ojsvi. I think queries will keep coming up, but I will request students to go to the iDream Career website and post your questions there. We will surely be answering them to support and guide you through this process. Once again, thank you so much, Ojasvi, and thank you to all our counselors for attending this. We, of course, have this session live on YouTube, which will be on YouTube for you to go and refer on at a later time. We wish you all the very best and thank you once again. Have a great evening ahead.
Thank you so much, everybody. A very good evening to all of you. Thank you for your time. All the best to grade 12 for your exams and everything else forward. Thank you. Bye bye.